Welcome, welcome, family. Okay, it's time. It's time. Many of you guys been asking us about this video, but as always, I start out by letting you know about the screen, the pictures on the screen, like sharing some of you of my life. For those who don't know, my name is Naja. The beautiful gentleman in the picture is Will Taylor, and we are here just to share a bit about journey and life with you over time. Although I am out front and center majority of the time, Will is the beauty on the screen that you see. He is the marketing person behind this. He's our video technician. He does all that. He makes me look good, baby. So trust me, and part of me out front looking good is definitely from the works of his hands. So today our topic, as you see on the screen, is a TRN, which stands for tax registration number for Jamaica. We're going to talk about this, who can get it, how, whatever. So before I go into that, let me get into these pictures on the screen. So this first picture is me on our balcony at the Bahia Luxury Resort. And it's where we go all the time. Well, and our privileged members there, we have free stays and free weeks and all that other good things. And they love us there. And so we decided to do the Privilege Club because it's a way of networking with other business owners while we're out there, and that's actually in our club. And so it is a beautiful way. So if that's something that you desire to do, if you're an entrepreneur, that might be something you would like to do. It's a way with networking without just kind of da 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 da, but you can do it in a great space, right? So that's me looking off the balcony, feeling good, looking good, about to take a dip in the pool. This next picture is us, as Will and I, in our home that we used to have in North Carolina. It was a big antique-like home, and so I used to love it because it was an old house and it was super big, and all the rooms are big, and so that was actually our first place together. FYI, in case y'all wanted to know. Um, this other one here is Will and I. We were on our way I think we were on our way to swimming in Jamaica. We were on our way there, and we just decided to have a good time. We were still in our room at that point, and this is Will kind of looking off. I just wanted to catch that picture of him because, it's good to get pictures that's all raw. They're raw and uncut. You know what I'm saying? So look at him. He's looking all masked, all strong, all Raja strong. He's looking real strong, as they say. He looking all the yardie man, yard man. He looking all yardie. He looking all Jamaican. So I love that picture of him, and he was just kind of. I think he was just admiring the beauty, the clear water. The water is to where he's looking off to. I'm not sure, but the water is there, and you'll see part of the resort in the back, that's women, and then far in the back side, because a luxury resort is actually connected to the Grand, but the Grand is for family and children, and the luxury side is for only adults. So they don't cross mingle, but you can see it from there where we were. And so, guys, let's get into talking about this, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come on screen so you can see me. Let me take some of my pictures off, and then I'm gonna come on screen. Um, and then what I'm gonna do is pull up my screen, because as I'm talking to you, hopefully you can see it really good. I hit the wrong one. Here we go. Hopefully you can see it really good. I'm gonna read it to you just in case. Let me make it so kind of big. Kind of big. Okay, so here we go, guys. So what is this? We're going to be talking about the tax registration number in Jamaica. Again, hello. For those who may not know me, and I hardly ever introduce myself in these videos, and forgive me for that, for assuming everybody in the world knows me, but I am Naja, and of course, the beauty that you saw on the screen is Mr. Will Taylor, and we travel around the world, kind of give some um, information. So we're more of an informational site, right? So for a minute, I am going to leave screen because I want you to see this screen to my right a little bit bigger, okay? So let me leave off the screen, and you will be able to hear me, okay, for right now. Okay, so this was where you apply for the Tax Administration Jamaica. This is the home website. So let me kind of go here as if I was just logging on the site. Um, So when you come into the site, this is where you will be looking. So this is the home page for the site. When you come here, you can do two things. You can actually go right here, and of course, you'll see the TRN and these any things that you need to know as far as anything dealing with Jamaica, the payroll, the tax, your motor vehicle, your driver license, rates and fees. Anything you want to know is right here. Purchasing, direct banking, withhold tax transfer, charities, garnishments, policies, whole nine yard. Give you some updates right here. You can have a log on. You can get a login screen here and log in and deal with some of your tax things that you may have. And this right here in the middle is just some updates, some calendar events that may have came up past or which are coming up. Okay, so that's where you're gonna be. So you can actually hit right here where it says TRN on the screen right here, or you can go up here to the how-to section. Wait a minute, I think it's on the forms, and then you can scroll down to TRN. Okay, you can go all the way down and scroll to TRN here. Okay, so let's just go back on this side and let's just hit the TRN. It's gonna come up a list of things, right? But this is everything, what it is, why you need one, who needs one, this, that, and the other. So I already told you what it was, but we're gonna go into the definition given here, right? Um, what is a TRN? In an effort to continue improving tax administration in Jamaica, the government, through the Tax Administration Reform Project called Tax ARP, implemented the tax registration system to facilitate the registration and assignment of the tax registration number, or TRN. Now, guys, in America, it's something like the Social Security. And I do say something because there are different variables, okay? And so why TRN? The TRN replaced the different numbers used by various tax departments, such as the business enterprise number, and that's if you have a business, the income tax reference number, that's if you're working, the driver license number. It facilitates integrated computerized tax administration systems, which is ICTAS, for tax departments. So we had all these different numbers for Jamaica, and they wanted to say, listen, let's just go to one number that links everything together. Okay, so let's go right here, which is who needs a TRN, okay? So the TRN is needed to transact business with other institutions, the banks, the school examination boards. So if you want to go to school in Jamaica, whether it's at home, online, or whether it's in the actual facility, you will need a TRN. If your children are going to be enrolled in school, summer camps, or anything, let's say you're just visiting, but you want to enroll them into a summer camp program, they will need a TRN. If you want to do any banking, driving license, any type of thing like that, you're going to be needing your TRN. Okay. Okay. The number must be used when conducting business transaction with tax departments or government agency. So think anything governmental, guys. Okay. So taxpayers are required to register and receive a taxpayer registration number by completing a relevant application form. Individuals will be required to complete an application for tax registration number form and return it to the taxpayer registration center or nearest collectorate with appropriate identification and documentation. After the registration of the tax payer, a TRN number is assigned who it is also issued with a TRN card. And the reason why I said it kind of sounds confusing, because when you first sign up, immediately you're going to be issued a number immediately, right? So you can't say, oh, I didn't register this because I was waiting on my TRN. They're going to give you one immediately, right? And then in a couple of months, you'll actually get a card that will be mailed to you, about 3 to 4 months, because they have to get it all processed. So that's why that says that. So I just wanted to really clarify what I was saying about that. Okay. So now we're going to go look at the overseas ones. When you go on this list, right, it tells you different things, the requirements for application and registration. Then it tells you the requirements for individuals. If you're an individual wanting to get a tax registration number and you do not own a business and you live in Jamaica, so you have to be understanding. This is for people, because we're on their website, that live in Jamaica. You're required as an individual, right? Now, this next line is where you and I would go, is for requirements for individuals submitting an application application for overseas. Remember, we're in the United States, so according to them, we're considered to be overseas, and Jamaica is considered to be local, right? Or individuals, right? Local citizens and things like that. So now we are the overseas party from the United States. When we say, oh, I'm going to mail something overseas or to Jamaica, we're mailing it overseas. So now we're listening, we're on their site, and we become the overseas. So we're going to go for requirements for individuals submitting applications from overseas. Okay. And we're going a little bit past our 10 minutes, and this is because this is really something you need to see. Okay. Right here. So requirements for individuals submitting applications from overseas. So along with the application and signed submittal forms, you also need to have a copy of your applicant's passport or a driving license, right? And it must include the applicant's full first and last name, date of birth, photo, and signature, which most of those things do, right? If someone is being authorized to collect the TRN card, an authorization letter for the applicant should be attached stating the name of the person authorized to collect the card. So what does this mean? It means number one, you have to get your documents notarized. So a copy of your travel license and a copy of your passport must be notarized. Must be notarized. Okay. Now, if you want somebody to pick yours up, like so they send a hard copy, if they send it to St. Anne's Bay or the tax office in St. Anne's Bay, right? Then you have to authorize somebody to pick it up. So Will and I, we didn't do the authorization form because we're there regularly and we just pick it up when we go, right? So now the TRN app, the note bulletin. That's what that NB stand for. Yeah, I didn't know. I had to look it up. Noted bulletin. TRN cards for applicants who submit their forms via mail from overseas when will then be mailed to the applicant address as stated on the application. So they would mail it to you in the United States. So you don't have to worry about going to a local office. We just decided to do that. If the identification or supporting documents are not in English, an official translated version is required. The signature on the application must match that of the identification presented. Okay, you can apply for one for minors as well. One thing that you do need to know: if your um, one of your identification, just say for instance your birth certificate, and maybe you had a complete name change like I did, then you will have to have your original birth certificate and the paper that has your name change form, and they will have to be notarized as well. So then for your children, in order for the children to get a tax registration number, you must already have yours or do them simultaneously. So I did my sons simultaneously because I have me, Will, and Josiah had ours done. So they did mine's first simply because they were going to be doing Josiah's, and then of course they did Will. So they just needed to attach the parent to the child to the parent, right? So they can get one. You just need their birth certificate, a professional produced certified passport size photo. And so I had to send up a size photo for him. He had to do a passport photo and identification and TRN number of the parent, right? So you need to have that. So this is pretty much all that you need to have when you go. Now for me, I played it safe, guys. Let me hide the screen. I mean, not hide. I'm trying to take away the screen. There we go. So for me, guys, I had to do extra steps because I did have a name change, right? And so I had to do extra steps where that's concerned. And the other thing that you'll need to know: take your birth certificate. So what I do is when I went, I copied everything and had the documents notarized that need to be notarized. But I also took the originals, right? So normally it is advised against you taking your original documents except your passport. So even when you are traveling, let's say you're in the resort, right? They have a safe there. And so you can lock your stuff up in a safe and just keep a copy of your passport on you. And they do that so if you lose your passport while you're out, you're not stuck in the country. So, but for us, I took it with me because it was like my life. Like, and I have a pouch that I keep on me, and that's kind of the way I'm motivated. Will and I both, we keep our stuff close on us. We don't drop nothing down. We keep it with us, and that's what we do. But it's not recommended because, of course, if we lose the documents, then we are going to be a little bit in trouble, right? So those are things and why you would want to make a copy. So, but when we went to the tax office, we had the originals and the copies. No, actually, I left the originals. I planned to take the originals, and I ended up leaving them here. But I needed the originals while I was there and did not have it. Right. So, but what happened was, you know how it always be. You know what I'm saying? God stepped in, and I was able to do what I needed to do because what happened was my passport was in the name of the name that I wanted my TRN in, as well as my driving license. But my birth certificate was different. But they was like, no, we'll go ahead and use this, and this is okay. So I didn't have to go back. But I did need my birth certificate, whether or not the name was changed for my marriage license, because of course, being married in Jamaica, you need to have original documents. All you need a birth certificate. I needed the birth certificate. I needed my name change, and I also needed the notary to notarize them both, and it was one more thing that I needed. I can't remember, but I will talk about marriage at another time. Let's stay on TRN because I was like, da, da, da. So we're way over our 10-minute mark, guys, but this just was a lot of information I wanted to give to you at one time. So this is the TRN registration tax number. It is free. So if you get them somebody that said, oh, it costs X amount of dollars. No, it is free. Okay. And you don't want to pay for something just because you don't know the process. This is completely free. And again, when you go in, they'll give it to you right then. They'll give you a piece of paper with your TRN number on it. And then not only will it give you a piece of paper with it on it right then, if you do it by, if you send it in. So what you do for I didn't get to that part, for overseas, right? You're going to get all your documents and you're going to send them overnight. It costs about 60 something dollars. You're going to send it overnight. Once you send it overnight, right? They're going to get it and they're going to immediately work on it. When they do, you're going to get an email with your tax registration number on it attached, right? And then in 4 months, you'll get your hard card in the mail. Okay. So I just wanted to end that. So we will now have that. I hope this information was a really something that you can utilize if you are interested in getting a tax registration number, why you would need it, who's gonna need it, and Will and I are doing business in Jamaica. We're also doing personal things in Jamaica. So we needed one. We actually have our bank account there in Jamaica, and we bank with a JN Bank. And I'm going to do a separate video as far as banking and with the marriage in Jamaica. So I'm going to do those things separate so you guys will have some information on what you need. So those are going to be coming following those videos. I'm actually going to complete that series today. So you guys, thank you so much and have an awesome and amazing day. Bye-bye.